afternoon. My name is Cheryl Mart, and I'm going to be presenting a leadership book review. I am currently pursuing a graduate degree at the University of Texas at Arlington College of Nursing, and this book review is in partial fulfillment for the requirements for nursing leadership in complex healthcare systems. The book I'm going to be talking about today is Walk the Walk, the #1 Rule for Real Leaders by Alan Deutschman. Alan Deutschman is a graduate from Princeton University. He's currently a professor of business journalism at the University of Reno in Nevada. He has a 24-year career as a journalist. He's a business writer and consultant and a professor, as I mentioned, and he's published 5 books and authored and published many business articles that have been published in prominent journals. The purpose of this book is to provide practical advice on being an effective leader. Leadership is action, not just spoken, and that's highlighted throughout this book. He also highlights the important attributes of a good leader, and he gives real-life examples of both good and poor leaders. The target audience for this book are aspiring leaders, leaders wanting to improve their leadership behaviors, leaders wanting practical leadership advice. It's applicable for experienced and novice leaders. The strengths is it's engaging and easy to read, it's clear and concise. The leadership principles are presented logically, and they give real life stories of both successful and unsuccessful leaders, so it's entertaining to read. The shortcomings of the book is that he presents it as like a recipe for leadership that may not be attainable or really applicable for all leaders. It lacks any in-depth perspective on leadership personality, and he tends to linger a little bit on some points, but being the book is short, you can just pass by those points. I think the author achieved his outcomes. The book was inspirational and practical. It gave, like I said, real-life memorable stories. It demonstrates how leaders' actions are vital to their success, and I found it both challenging and inspiring. So some of the evidence and advice is that his main themes are to focus on what's important. People work for people and not for companies, so really keep that in your forefront of your mind, and also choose 1 or 2 really main topics that you're going to want to focus on, and that's how you're going to build your leadership strategies. Your actions must match your words. Leadership is about creating change. And if you really mean something, then your actions must show it. He gave the example of Ray Kroc, who's the CEO of McDonald's food chain restaurants. And Ray, when he show up at the McDonald's restaurants, he would not be uncommon for him to be picking up trash and scraping gum off the sidewalks. So his employees knew he really meant it when he said he wanted his restaurants clean. Also to show empathy and share the struggle. They use a lot of military stories about military leaders who really got down in the trenches and worked with the troops, and that inspired, devotion and true leadership qualities in those leaders. To be unwavering and dependable. People are always watching, and every moment is a teachable moment. So Alan uses that example a lot throughout his book, is that you always want to present the same attitude and always be focused on your top attributes of leadership. And then he has his beliefs, and it's believing in yourself and believing in your staff as well, believing that you have the ability to lead people, believe that your people have the ability to follow, and that they have the ability to change. I would highly recommend this book. I thought it was practical. The advice is timeless. Like I mentioned, the stories are memorable because it all has real life meaning. A lot of people from today's culture, you'll hear stories about them. I think it's applicable to any leadership role, and I think it's perfect for nursing leadership and also for interdisciplinary teams. So at this point, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention, and I'll entertain any questions you might have.